covered, right? Some of these books that Diane showed us a few weeks back. There was some writings inside, by Michael in the beginning that I think were terrific for the defense because it was stuff that was so out there, but at least explained the content, I think, of his mindset when he's interacting with these kids. He talks about the innocence of children and his love for the innocence and the purity and so on and so forth. But here's something that when he's doing that kind of stuff, Catherine, and none of us could sit there. And I don't know if that's one of the books, but there was a description on the front, Catherine, that had that sort of writing in it. And quite frankly, if he's someone who relates to the innocence of children and boys and wants to regroup his childhood, so be it.
Okay, there are pictures. There are pictures. I cannot.
We're going to go through.
No. I'm not going to show these because I'm going to ask you a question. These are innocent, wonderful pictures that of a guy that loves. This is not being shown on camera. That loves.
What this is
these
a book.
The books
right,
that were introduced.
Right now, what these are books that I certainly want to read. Frank probably want to read. You want to read. This is illegal. Wait a minute. This is not illegal.
Of course it's not.
Oh, well, of course it's not illegal, and someone reads a book that's not illegal, even if it's not your case, Catherine.
You've got 4 kids.
Oh, no, I have 5, first of all.
You're making a great argument. I don't believe it.
It doesn't matter if you believe me. If this book is not illegal, then what is the problem? Is he going to be convicted? Are we in this country now looking to convict someone, Catherine, on things that aren't illegal because we as a society don't think it's normal?
The issue is not whether
How about proving his guilt in this case?
The issue is not whether these books are legal
How about
or
proving
not.
his guilt in this
the
case?
issue is whether or not he was getting sexual gratification from the association with young boys, and this is something that the judge has allowed the jury to consider regarding that fact.
I understand, but this is not a sexual book. There is no sexual...
Do you want me to start showing pictures on camera? For God's sake?
Be my guest. Be my guest. Why don't you show let's go. I want to take the book, we can start showing it to your viewers, and let's see if these books are sexual.
Okay.
Pull them all out.
All right.
Pull them all out.
Guys, I don't want to get in trouble.
Well, go ahead.
Let's do this.
That's been shown.
Yeah.
That's been shown. That is, that's not my style. That's not sexual.
You and I can argue all you want. I want to go back to that.
Prove the case. He's charged with a sex crime, not with having books that 99.9% of the population think are icky. Yeah. These are legal.
Frank,
they're not my style.
You have said this guy likes girls. We know he's married before and all that sort of thing, and he's got 3 kids. That he likes girls. That this whole porn thing is out of whack. He looks at girls. Well, is this the sort of thing that you would look at to get turned on about girls?
No, I would not look at these books, but you have to understand Michael is an artist in more than one way. Now, okay, now listen.
I'm listening. I
know a lot of photographers who are completely straight. A lot of artists who are completely straight. And you know what, for reference, for photography, they do have books to this caliber. I've seen it. Does that make them a pedophile? No.
No, but most of them probably haven't spent 365 days sleeping with the same little boy, haven't settled a $20 million suit with Dory Taylor.
That's what the prosecution wants to do here. Why don't you say something relevant to the... No, it's admissible, not to prove the guilt in this case, though. No. Why don't you say something regarding the evidence of what he's charged with in this case? So far, you've done what, quite frankly, is the prosecution's strongest argument in this case.
I'm playing a big devil's advocate.
I know you are. I'm good with that. I love that sort of thing. But let me just tell you, if you're falling into the trap, and this is what the prosecution wants the jury to do. They want the jury to look at these books that are not illegal, are not sexual in nature.
I disagree with that.
Okay, they're certainly not illegal, and quite frankly, if they were photographs of minors in sexual poses, they would be illegal.
They are very
erotic.
They're very erotic.
But they're not illegal, and they're not sexual.
I agree they're not illegal.
Okay, so they're not illegal. He possesses them.
Okay.
That coupled with some allegations of 5 incidents that 3 of the boys came in and said it never happened, and by the way, the prosecution never even asked me if it happened. 1, the boy didn't even show up into court, and the other one, he came in and told sort of a different story. That's how we convict him of what he's charged with here. That's the problem with the way the evidence went in. That's why I think Michael, God forbid he gets convicted, will have an appeal. But the bottom line is prove the case here. You haven't said a word about the accuser's allegations. How about this one?
Oh, no, I did say the credibility of the case rests on the credibility of the accuser.
But this is the defense's main problem. It's not the evidence in this case or the allegations charged with. It's the other stuff.
What was your reaction?
The weird factor.
What was your reaction to the rebuttal video, because to me, they did save their biggest punch for last. The 12-year-old with the cops, hesitant, head down, mumbling, stammering, please don't
Right.
tell my mother. That's pretty powerful stuff.
It is, but, you know, if that were a normal 12-year-old, I'd say,
So you
end
think
of the
this
case.
is an Oscar winner?
I'd say end of the case. Hey, listen, all I know is there's a boy who made that video who has told at least a couple different stories. In the grand jury, if you read that grand jury testimony, he was like doing stand-up comedy routine a little bit with the prosecutor. I mean, most kids who are young boys who have been molested